Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter 2 Ultra Blanka. Now, this is a very premium figure. It's about the $109 price point, and it feels really good. There's a lot of interesting stuff that they've done with this that I didn't know that they were doing. I really was just in it for the figure. Some pretty cool accessories and some pretty cool add-ons. But I did get this at Gundam It, which is Show Z, but it's got a... You log in there with your Show Z stuff. It's two separate sites, but it's the same. Anyway, you can still use the TH reviewer code, help the channel out, but I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours if you're interested in this guy. But let's take a look at this guy. We know that Jada has one coming on the way, but this one, with all the premium stuff they've done, would be quite interesting to check this out. Coming up. All right, here's the packaging, and this packaging is just huge. It's massive. The figure's massive, but I didn't think that they would have such a big box for this thing. It is very, very big. So with that, let's look at the side. You can see, looks like art from the game, Street Fighter 2 Ultra, and then, and it's heavy too. And there's the back, which is very, very reminiscent of the game. All these pictures look like they're straight out of the game. Pretty cool stuff. So here he is right out of the box, and I have to say that he looks really, really good. It's a great looking figure. The color looks good. I actually visioned him a little bit darker, but I think the lighter color is more accurate to the screen, and the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking, yes, it does look pretty accurate to the screen. And it's just so much detail in this. I mean, the hair alone, I mean, how many strands, piece of hair is that? Like 30 or 40 pieces of hair. And each piece looks like, of course, another couple hundred strands of hair. It's just mixed in there. It's very, very impressive. A lot of, you can see some of the hardware in there. And it is double jointed knees and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into all the articulation. But high level articulation. High level paint on everything with this thing is very impressive. It is, of course, a $100 figure. I don't review very many $100 action figures very often. I mean, the Transformers, I understand that one, but getting to see this, it is quite impressive to have a figure with this much going on. And let's get into some accessories because there's just so many. The first accessory that sort of blew my mind was that they even had this sort of electricity thing that's going on when he does his kind of powering up. It comes in 3 pieces. I think I have it all plugged in correctly. You got the bottom piece that is kind of a bluish gray, and then you have these electricity pieces that come up, which there's 3 points to plug in, and they can, some of them, they're sort of keyed, so you can only put them in one way, and then I probably need to heat them up so they'll go in all the way and kind of stay that way. But the stuff on a cold day doesn't operate as well as I'd like. But it gets the job done. It works. And that electricity, showed it in the intro, so there's really not much more to show on it other than you get him in that pose, and there he is. Or you could just display him standing like this. That still looks awesome. That looks really good to have the electricity around him. It's a cool add-on, but I wasn't even expecting this. Wasn't sure. I know a lot of times they do pictures and there's other things in the background and stuff that doesn't go with it. But impressive, this ginormous kind of energy ring that's going on in there. It's flexible too, so it's all included. Here we go with some hands. Let's get a better look at them. So he's packed in the package with the fists, which I'm not really a big fan of the fists. When you pop them off, it's kind of a nice round ring. It's very, very smooth. And you're going to hear me probably say that a lot in here. Trying to decide what fist I want on there. See how smooth that goes on, and then it operates up and down. And this is a bit of a movement, quite a bit of movement with it. Anyway, then you get kind of 2 of these semi-opened hands, more opened hands, just kind of a splayed hand. You have this where his hands are straight forward, like he's going to stab you with his sharp nails. They all have really sharp nails and a lot of paint. Around the nails, there's, if the camera's picking it up, there's red paint around the nails, which I don't know the camera's getting all that. Then this is another one that's sort of opened in a way like he's going to be throwing something or catching something. which is a cool hand also. And it's all mirrored to the other side, all the same hands. Really cool stuff. I didn't see that they were including this many hands, but yeah, looks pretty good. I think I'll have on mine, for most of my display, just some semi-open hands, because that kind of feels like it's where he is the most, other than occasionally a fist. Now, I want to say I think he's got a pretty amazing head sculpt. Now, this is not the one that came on him. This is the one that I like the most. So this is the one I'm showing, and you just pop it off the ball joint, pop it back on. Pretty basic stuff. It worked pretty well. But I think the more I do it, the more it's going to wear out. That is an awesome head sculpt. This is the one I think, when I think of Blanka, I think of something along those lines. Then you've got he just got beat up. If you can beat this dude, then you've got this one here. This is one I think is packed with it. He's just kind of standing there, just normal resting bee face. That's what he's got going on there. And then this is sort of, so between the two, I kind of wanted this one to be the one I display it with. This one's good, but that one just seems more Blanka-ish. Still, all great head sculpts. Amazing 4 head sculpts with just all these strands of hair on it. See, so I kind of understand the price point when they just go all out with this stuff. Pretty cool. Now, to get into the articulation here, let's see, with this giant head of his, it goes down that much, and it kind of has to go down. That's part of his character. And it can go up to about there, of course, side to side. And the way the hair is, it's not even that restrictive. Kind of, not even to the back. Double dog bone. You can see the neck moving. It's double dog bone kind of thing. Now, this whole thing here is rubber overlay right there, and this feels like hard plastic, but it's kind of a soft, movable plastic. He does have a really good butterfly. Now, I went a little bit too far with it, so probably the only thing I've had an issue with so far was popping this off by just testing how far this butterfly is going to go. And, like, he's not going to wield a sword or anything, but so you can get these kinds of poses. And then, of course, he would be doing that, but he usually does stuff like this when he's kneeled down, kind of like that. Then his shoulder goes up, so there's a joint here. So the joint that popped off on me was on the inner joint. Then you also have this extra going on there. So, and then if you want to really cheat it, you can go, see, I popped it off, so I can show you the inner workings of it. So that's how you get the extra articulation there. You got to get this fed back through here and just pop it back on, which is not really that. Okay, everything's harder with the camera rolling because I've done it earlier. All right, there goes. It was easy. Then, anyway, you could kind of cheat a little bit, get a little higher. You got the bicep swivel. You have the double jointed elbow that really only goes to there. And then we already showed the hands, but in and out and kind of spin all the way around. Not so much up and down, but if you need your stance where he's down here, that's going to work. And then his torso, he's got side to side and front, a little front and back with that right here with that hinge at the ball joint. But then this is a straight up T kind of joint here, but it's really smartly hidden by the overlay of the pants, the rubber pants. So that looks good in the rubber, and this piece here that matches on the pants really well. Goes all the way to the 90, and if I try, I probably could get him to stand on his own. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good sign of quality. If I move it though, he's probably going to fall because I barely got him to stand on his own, but yeah, it's impressive. Anyway, so then we have front to about there, back to about there. Quite a bit of movement in that leg so that you can get this pose here. And he's one that will be posed a lot of freaky ways. Then double jointed knee. Can't quite get that heel to his rear, but it's still quite a bit going on there. And the way the knee opens up, it doesn't really look like it breaks the sculpt all that much. Some of these knees do break the sculpt real bad. I like the little fuzz there. He's got this rubber anklet on. And then feet up, down, and side to side. And then, of course, toe articulation all the way to there. All right, so my first comparison is going to be to the Storm Collectibles Goro figure, and this dude is pretty cool. He's huge. I thought this Blanka was going to be about the size of this guy, but he's a little smaller. Well, get the camera up there so you can see. A little shorter, but I kind of like this size and scale because this will work with pretty much everything else I'm collecting anyway. I view Blanka as a much bigger character. I'm glad he's not this big, but then again, I'm still okay with him being that big. I'm not really doing a whole lot with Mortal Kombat, but when it comes to Street Fighter, he matches my Street Fighter figures. We're going to see that in a second. Here's next to the G.I. Joe version of Street Fighter, Blanka. I mean, the colors are just way off on the G.I. Joe one, but just kind of fun to see what they did in the G.I. Joe. And yeah, way small, but through the art of camera tricks, we can compare it. Here he is next to Guile, who is my favorite character, and it's the Jada Toys. Almost everything I'm going to be showing at this point for is Jada Toys, except for this guy, which again, I forgot what he was. He's not a Storm Collectibles for some reason. I thought he was, but he's not. Still, he looks okay. I'm pretty good overall, but good enough that I didn't open my Jada. And it's nice to have kind of some different companies making different characters and just a nice mix in here. Of course, I will have everything Jada on hand, but as you can see, a little bit bigger figure than what Jada did over here with the Ryu. And then we've got Playmates. We got to bring some of the ladies in here real quick. Yeah, help her out there a little bit. But that's how they look. This is Playmates. That's Jada, Cammy, and Chun-Li here. Pretty good size. I'm okay with the size. I really think he needs to be this much bigger than they do. So it makes me curious because they're going to make, Jada's going to make theirs a deluxe. I wonder how big theirs will come out to be. And we got M. Bison and DJ here, so it looks really cool. Good looking stuff going on. He fits in very well. I feel like this is right. Some people might not. If you think he's too tall, this is how he usually was in the game anyway, or in a spinning ball. Alright, so what do I think about this guy? Well, I do think that he looks great. I think that they nailed the color, they nailed the aesthetic, they really captured the character, they captured pretty much everything about him, and it works. Also, the articulation's excellent, and the accessories I feel are excessive. We don't need as many heads. I don't think we need that many heads. I don't think that they need that many hands, but they want to justify a price point. As you can see, he does fit in very well with the Jada Toys stuff, and even though he is a larger scale, I feel like he fits perfect. I feel like this works really well for the Jada scale. Even though they are going to be putting out figures to compete directly with Jada, this one here is a little bit more on the premium side, and I do like the articulation, everything about it. Now, there's two drawbacks. Number one, I did pop the shoulders off a little bit, trying to overextend the articulation point, which I won't do on a regular basis. I'll probably never do it again because I'll never try to get that big of a range. And the other big problem with this figure, and it's a big problem, now I gotta go play Street Fighter. But anyway, I did get this at Gundam, which is ShowZ. You log in with your ShowZ ID, and then you can put the TH and reviewer code in there, help channel out if you want to, same as ShowZ. But let me know what you guys think about this. Are you in on this? Are you waiting for the Jada Toys version? Are you looking forward to the new Storm Collectibles that's going to be the $30 price point that's going to be pretty close to what Jada's doing? Let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe, and try to out.